This week, we're talking about Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. This was a sleeper hit when it was released in 1978. The critics trashed it. The studio had such little faith in the film that they didn't even want to finish it after it was shot. The director put up $800,000 to finish the film, and it may have been negatively received by the critics, but audiences loved this movie. It did very well at the box office. It made $104 million, and it became an instant cult classic.
Against a $3 million, like a $2 million budget?
Less.
Because the director put up $800,000.
Yeah, just so about $2 million. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! You know, this movie was their first showcase.
It was, and they had been around for a long time. You know, I mean, obviously their act is very much based in the counterculture, but I think their first record came out in like 1972. It was a long time for them to convince Hollywood studios and Hollywood execs. They had to convince people that their very popular records would translate to film. And eventually they did. It didn't happen until 1978. They might have shot this movie in 76 or 77, but that's pretty late into the whole counterculture stuff.
And what I think did resonate, you know, my dad loves Cheech and Chong, right?
Yeah.
And so growing up, you know, he would quote him, and you know, there was Cheech and Chong kind of in my life, sort of as a side thing. I never really gave him too much time of day because I don't know, it's my dad's things. But I did enjoy Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke, and I think they resonated with that, you know, with people because they were actually counterculture. They weren't actors pretending to be hippies. They were actually hippies. Like Cheech was a draft dodging American who moved to Canada and met Chong there, who was just a real drummer who played with people like, you know, he had played with Jimi Hendrix and Santa Claus.
Yeah, he has a long history in like rock clubs.
And so they really just were real hippies, and then they made these comedy albums.
Yeah, they were a cultural phenomenon before the movie, and then the movie came out and became so successful that it created an entire new genre of film.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like the stoner film. Really, there were movies that had marijuana in them before Up in Smoke, but there was never really a stoner film. I'm definitely going to give this one 5 stars. It's an absolute classic. The material and performances are excellent, and even though it's low budget, the minimalist production actually works in the film's favor. The scenes have extremely minimal coverage, but it works. It kind of highlights the performances, and the whole thing it feels almost like a documentary at times.
Yeah, right. It's like watching their act.
The soundtrack is amazing, and while many kind of like look at this movie like it's just merely like a dumb stoner movie, I think there's a lot more going on with Up in Smoke.
It's very culturally significant, right? It was a pop culture like time capsule.
This movie is really about the optimism of the 1960s turning into the cynicism of the 1970s, which then kind of leads to the complete nihilism of the 1980s.
Interesting.
It's like a road trip through post-war American popular culture. Cheech and Chong are two archetypes from the 50s and 60s who are confronted with the harsh realities of the 1970s. The Vietnam War, the drug war. These characters are kind of like everymen. They're a representation of the American working class, and they come to the conclusion that their only hope for success is to gamble on the entertainment industry. So they turn their former doo-wop/rock band into a punk band, and with the aid of a massive amount of marijuana, they're able to succeed, and there's some sort of profound message in there somewhere.
That's a lot to unpack, Gary. I mean,
I mean, my dad loved these movies too. So
there you go, right? It just hit a chord because it was the thing. It was the times, right? And it worked.
Cheech and Chong were basically the Justin Bieber of their era. So if your dad,
with their comedy albums,
if your dad was 30 years younger, he would be a believer. So what do you think, Russ? What's your review? You gonna recommend this one?
Yeah, I think Cheech and Chong it gets a pass. It gets a at least a 3 out of 5 for me.
This movie is constantly funny, and the performances are all great. There's
got a lot of good bits, a lot of crazy characters, and the
movie does let the performances shine. Like you can tell, there's a lot of great comedic actors in it. Even
just let them go.
Tom Skerritt as Strawberry.
Dude, when Chong inhales the world's smallest roach.
This is what I'm saying though. Like once you do the roach joke, it's been done. It's like it is. That's a great weed bit.
Especially if you start out with stoner movies with that joke. You know, it's like you did it.
The movie does so much with so little. Like the car scene where Cheech meets Chong is absolutely brilliant and funny the entire time, even though all it is two guys sitting in a car. It's about 10 minutes of these guys going back and forth in a car. It never gets old, and the psychology of it is hilarious. As soon as Cheech is upset with Chong, he's like, "Oh, I really like your car, man." He knows how to like manipulate him in a way that's perfect. That sequence is excellent. And they've been doing that bit for almost 10 years. So they'd really like worked it out.
And now probably 50 years they've been doing that bit.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on in this movie. Aside from being the first Cheech and Chong film, Up in Smoke is one of the first films to document the LA punk scene. And the song at the end of the movie, "Earache My Eye," does actually slap. It's pretty great.
It is a good one.
It's an excellent soundtrack.
Cross-dressing, essentially, right?
It is. I figured you'd appreciate this song.
Yeah, I did. I liked every moment of it. I was surprised. I was like, wow, I didn't expect this from, Cheech, that this would be his
I guess
his
it's
song.
not
Is he dressed in a tutu singing about how...
He's parodying the Sex Pistols, basically, or,
punk, where they sing
the newly emerging punk scene.
They're always cross-dressing?
Not so much the Sex Pistols, but in the punk scene, sure. Yeah, they're always cross-dressing.
Okay.
And, it's not really a huge surprise that it's a great soundtrack, as, like I said, the director was a very successful music producer. So Cheech and Chong are looking for weed. They go to see Cheech's cousin Strawberry, who's a Vietnam veteran suffering from severe PTSD.
Yeah.
This guy is so fucked up. He's basically hallucinating to the point where he's like a danger to himself and others.
Yeah.
So while Cheech and Chong are at Strawberry's house, the INS shows up because Cheech's family has called immigration on themselves as a way to get a free ride to Mexico for a wedding.
Right.
Cheech and Chong find themselves transported to Tijuana, where Cheech's uncle hooks them up with a van that needs to be transported back to the States. And you can criticize the plot of this movie because it is dumb. Somehow there's a mix-up. How the fuck do you get a mix-up with vans? But so they end up picking up a van that's made completely out of marijuana.
Yeah, for whatever reason, somehow marijuana is being able to be turned into products like a TV.
They're like processing it into a fiberglass.
This TV is actually made of marijuana. We're going to smoke it after the podcast. Did you know we actually can't smoke on this podcast? I was going to bring a hilarious sized joint, but we can't do that. That would actually be against YouTube's rules.
You just have to say it's not weed.
Oh.
You got to be like, we're smoking
big tobacco
nerds. We're smoking this is a big nerds rope that we're smoking.
That'd be...
Yeah.
Next time.
Well, I don't do drugs, Russ.
So. Oh, yeah. Me too, neither. I just smoke TVs.
Yeah.
Long live.
In fact, Russ has a nightmarish addiction to smoking TV plastic.
Yeah.
But let's not get into that. So now Cheech and Chong are being pursued by Sergeant Stadenko, played by Stacy Keach. And Sergeant Stadenko is a fiercely, anti-marijuana narcotics officer. Mm-hmm. This is also another terrific performance in the film.
He's great.
Stacy Keach. Yeah.
And honestly, even his silly his scenes aren't really super necessary, but they are bits in themselves. I mean, he's saying where he's going to go, but they're really kind of milked performances.
Yeah, he really doesn't. It's not really fitting into the plot until the end.
Yeah,
and also the actresses who play the two female characters are excellent, especially the hippie girl. She is so fucking funny in this.
Red with the red hair.
Yeah. She is so good.
I got a popper. We could either party later or try to start his heart.
The hippie woman gives Chong something that fucks him up real bad.
Quaaludes.
Basically renders him useless. And at the last minute, as the band takes the stage and you're thinking the whole performance is going to be a big mess, marijuana smoke starts bellowing into, I believe it's the Roxy. It might be the Roxy because that's the club that Lou Adler owns. I forget which one it is. Completely reinvigorates Chong. The performance goes well. They become the big heroes of the Battle of the Bands. And yeah, man, this movie, it's funny the whole time. And then the end scene totally pans out too. It's a great climax.
With the cops also getting stoned?
The cops also get stoned.
Eating pizza?
But do you see what I'm saying where this goes from Cholo, which is a 50s kind of black Mexican culture, and the hippie counterculture, which is the flower children thing and, peace and love, to the nihilism of the 80s. A guy in a tutu singing about how he just wants to make money. He's just doing it to make money. You know what I mean? It's
sure.
Nothing means anything anymore.
But this wasn't made in the 80s. You're saying it's predicting it?
This is 1978.
Right.
This is right at the
just about.
The new wave in punk culture is the 80s coming in.
Interesting. Just cultures, man. It was just a time capture of culture.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I like to read High Times magazine, Russ.
Oh, nice.
Because I need to see, a picture of marijuana that's shot like a Playboy from the '60s.
Look at that bush.
It is, the details in this movie, like the little things, make it so funny. Like throughout the film, Cheech is singing like classic rock songs. And he's just making up new words for them, and they crack me up every time.
You think he's just riffing?
The guacamole in my shoes.
Oh.
Guacamole in my shoes. Guacamole in my shoes.
After this movie came out and was a big success, they pretty much churned out sequels pretty quickly.
Yeah, right.
Almost every other year, there was a Cheech and Chong movie coming out.
Those used to play on Comedy Central nonstop.
Yeah. I used to watch them on Comedy Central all the time. I will say, I think the first 3 are pretty solid.
Yeah, there's funny performances and bits in all of them.
But it does start to feel like the Cheech and Chong thing gets old by the second movie. Like, it's already old by the second movie, and they're already trying to find excuses to play other characters and have Cheech do his cousin.
Right, he's
and
his
do other
cousin.
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they already kind of did it.
Alien.
Yeah. So they did probably go on for a bit longer than they had to.
I was trying to put together an outfit. I don't know if you can tell. I'm supposed to look like Cheech in the movie, right? He had, he was kind of wearing this outfit. I think his suspenders were red. And I was looking around. I thought I had red suspenders, and I realized Cheech is wearing the same outfit as Misty from Pokemon. He's got this yellow crop top and these red suspenders, and it's just like...
She wears a red beanie?
No, she's got red hair, though. She's got red little clip in her hair.
Yeah.
But
he's like, come on, man, you got to smoke them all, brother.
And I'm sure he has short shorts at some point in the series.
Yeah.
But.
To create images is always a challenge. Digital magic.